Good afternoon. Let's begin our time together with a prayer. God of all good gifts, we gather this afternoon to give you thanks for the abundance of grace with which you have endowed our graduating seniors. As they prepare to graduate, bless them always with a faith that will sustain them through weal and woe, an enduring hope in the goodness of humanity, and commitment to love others through generous service, especially to those at the margins and most in need. May they lead lives marked by an ongoing search for wisdom and truth. And may they flourish as leaders who are guided by right conscience and unbridled compassion. Bless their families, friends, professors, mentors, all who have guided them to this joyful moment. And welcome into your kingdom those who have gone before us, especially Jerry Corrigan and classmate Vincent Harris. We ask this, gracious God, in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Father Cicero. Next, I would like to welcome your Dean, the Dean of the Gebelli School of Business, Donna Rapiccioli.
Thank you, Liz. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. It's such a joy to be here with you, to honor you, to celebrate with you. Each of you excelled. Each of you stood out to the faculty and to the administrators. And of course, you stood out and are making your family so proud. A few things about this class. 98% of you held at least one internship. All of you did the Consulting Cup. Some of you represented Shake Shack. We can hear some cheers if you remember this, right? How about United Airlines? Macy's, Ford, there you go, AT&T, and perhaps foreseeing such a big change that was about to happen, Pfizer, right? You also understood the value of the liberal arts, with 128 of your classmates completing a minor in a liberal arts discipline. You've shown a commitment to social innovation, to entrepreneurship, and in fact, to changing the world. 15 of you chose to minor in either sustainability, in business law and ethics. Some of you attended a social innovation conference at Stanford over the break. And your class includes several social innovation fellows. And so many more accomplishments and points of pride that I could mention here today. So what I want to do is I want to invite the class of 2022 to please stand up so that we can recognize you. Please be seated. This award ceremony is always very special for me because I get to share some last-minute advice with all of you. This one is in particular very special because it's the last award ceremony that I'll preside over. So as you might imagine, I've been thinking about what I wanted to say to you. It's actually 15 years ago that in this very room in Fordham Prep, we had the award ceremony. So it's kind of like a flashback to me. And lots of things have changed since then, but many remain the same. The most important is my confidence in all of you. When I look at these students and I listen to them speak and observe their behavior, I'm so proud and confident that the world is going to become a better place. So thank you for being you. With that said, I do have a few things that I might want to share that maybe will give you even more of an edge, right? So one of the things I did was I looked at some of the old speeches that I gave, and one of the things that made me laugh was that in many of them I told the same joke. It was sort of a joke, and it was about how your family and your friends supported you in your college journey, and they showered you with love and help, but they also ended up emptying their wallets. Yeah, see, I think it got old, right? But people would always laugh. But this year, I'm not going to do that one. But it made me realize how much a creature of habit we can all be, right? You sit in the same spot in the classroom, look for the same door that you enter. And we take comfort in some of that routine. But we always want to remember that trying new things and taking advantage of opportunities are really important as well. So when I look back, I picked 3 things that I thought might be helpful to you, so you can think about it as the best of advice. One that jumped out at me was from 2011, and it was about the importance of trust. How many of you know who Charlie Munger is? Few of you. So Charlie Munger is the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. That's the company that Warren Buffett runs. And one of the things that Charlie Munger always focused on was that it really matters in business, especially how you treat people. Because the way you treat people is what creates trust and what creates relationships. And both trust and relationships are key for business. You've learned to trust one another. You've formed many relationships. Group projects like the Consulting Cup, trips, and your friendships. You learn to trust each other, and hopefully you trust your professors, your administrators, because we trust you, and we trust that you'll keep in touch. So, bit of advice: build trust, build relationships. The second piece of advice I gave to the class of 2016 was about the value of humility. People often misunderstand humility. It doesn't mean hiding your accomplishments or being a doormat. Humility really involves being open to others' opinions, to reflecting on your experiences, embracing your success, but also admitting mistakes. Humility is a source of incredible strength. And let's be honest, it's not that everyone in business has humility. Some people don't. But it will be a standout for you. A longtime human resource chief at Google, Laszlo Bock, said that without humility, you're unable to learn. And you are all learners. You've proven that you're able to learn. So I urge you to continue on this learning journey. The third one that I'll share is from a speech in 2007. And that was right after I had become dean. And I was sharing with the graduates some of the questions that I was asked on my job interview. And one of the questions that I was asked was, what do you want your legacy to be at Fordham? And that was tough because I just started, right? So how can you really think about what you want to be remembered for when you just began? But I found the question really thought-provoking, and I knew we needed a lot of things, right? We needed a new facility, and I'm proud that we got it. Hughes Hall is an amazing space. But I didn't want that to be what my legacy would be. I also really wanted the school to have a naming gift and have a name, because at the time it was called the College of Business Administration. But while it was important to me, it wasn't what was making me feel like I wanted my legacy to be. So as I told them back in 2007, my legacy was really about them. And I said to them something that I believe today, that I want every business student to graduate prepared to be a compassionate leader who contributes to society and lives a balanced life. A compassionate leader who contributes to society but lives a balanced life. And when I look at all of you and I hear all the things that you're doing, I know that I have a great legacy because you are my legacy. So thank you for that. So as you head out into the world, continue to make us proud. Reach high. Care about others. Always care about others. Be an innovator and a creative thinker. Make your community and the planet better. I know you can. You've already started. So just keep going. On behalf of all of us at the Gebelli School of Business, I extend our warmest congratulations on your graduation and on a job well done. Go forth and change the world. You really are prepared. Congratulations to the class of 2022. I'm very excited to share that this year we have 2 students who will be honored with Valedictorian Awards, and each of them will share a few words. Brandon Aptelon, I want to say it properly. Brandon Aptelon. Brandon Aptelon. Is our first co-valedictorian, and he will speak to us now. Our second co-valedictorian will share some remarks a little later in the program. I want to tell you a little bit about Brandon. So Brandon, why don't you come up and stand here so everybody can see you and be proud of you. Brandon is a Texas native. During his time at Fordham, he pursued a finance major with a secondary concentration in value investing. He plans to join Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group as a corporate banking credit analyst after graduation. Here at Fordham, Brandon was a leader on campus, both academically and among his peers. He was a member of the Boyle Society, the Value Investing Club, the Student Managed Investment Fund, and he also lent his talents and leadership to mentoring others as an RA and as the women's volleyball team manager. Brandon's Ram roots run deep, as he is a legacy student here. His mother is a double Ram graduating from Fordham College at Lincoln Center and also receiving an MBA from the Gebelli School of Business. His great uncle is also an alumnus, a former employee, and a Jesuit. What a special treat it will be to see both family members present Brandon with his diploma tomorrow. Congratulations, Brandon. I now invite you to share a few words.
Well, first of all, thank you, Dean Rapiccioli. I really appreciate that. It's a true honor to be stood in front of you all today. I'm the type of person who likes to keep things short and sweet, so with that in mind, I'd like to begin by thanking some important people. Firstly, Mom, thank you for your unconditional support. Thank you for dressing me in Fordham onesies and showing me your alma mater, because without you, I wouldn't be a Ram. Dad, thanks for giving me tons of advice that I never pay attention to. If it weren't for you, I probably would have stopped running a long, long time ago, so thank you for urging me to stop. Bradley, thanks for paving the way for me. You're a role model and have taught me more than you can imagine. My friends, you know who you are. Thank you for all the support and the great times that we shared, both here and my friends back home. Fordham Volleyball, thank you for being some of my best friends. I really couldn't have done this without you guys. The Jesuits, Father Cicero, Father Regan, Father Lido, just to name a few. Thank you for letting me be your adopted son for the past 4 years. I feel very honored to have been invited into your home to share many a glass of scotch and dinner. Andrew Pace, a good friend of mine. It's a true honor to share this with you, and I know that you're going to do great things going forward. Also, a special mention to Professor Kelly. I don't see him here today, but I had him for 3 semesters, and he really made such an impact on me. So if Professor Kelly, if you're here or watching online, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was a pleasure. The last 2 people I'd really like to thank are my great uncle Leo, who I see over there, Can everyone just give him a round of applause, please? And then also Father McShane, who I don't see here, but you know, I saw him yesterday. I'll see him tomorrow. We'll have a nice chat. Without those two, I wouldn't be here today. And by that, I don't mean I wouldn't be up here giving this speech, but I wouldn't be at Fordham altogether. So, you know, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your generosity. I hope you're both proud. That leads me to my next point. In high school, I was never the type of kid to win awards. I always remembered seeing the same people win award after award and thinking, you know, that's never going to be me. And somehow or another in college, I've become that person. And I don't say that to boast, but rather just to encourage all of you. We're entering this new stage in our lives where nothing before really matters. So I really challenge all of you to make the most of it and be that person that you really want to be. The last thing I'd like to bring up, some of you are probably sat there thinking, he only talked about running once? Like this whole speech isn't about running? So, you know, here it is. The answer is no. People often ask me what I do or think about while I'm running. The answer is that I visualize and I dream. And starting about 2 years ago, on all of my long runs, the thing that would get me through, you know, the hot Texas summer or whatever it may have been that day, you know, something hurting, was thinking about this moment and, you know, really trying to achieve my goals and to be stood up here today in front of you all, having realized that goal, is a true pleasure. And so what I want to say to all of you is, when there's something that you really want, you know, let that be your driving force. No matter how much it may hurt or how tired you are, just keep pushing through, and I promise that, you know, it'll come to fruition. And as cheesy as that sounds, everyone always says it, but it's true. So keep pushing, and I know you guys are all going to do great things in your life. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you to everyone who has made these the best 4 years of my life.
Well done. The pressure's on, Andrew. I'm honored to give the Gebelli School of Business Alumnus Award to Jake Braithwaite, SJ, class of 2011. Jake, why don't you? There he is, coming up. I want to tell you a little bit about Jake, who I've known since probably 2007, right? Maybe 6. Jake is a Jesuit regent serving as a 7th and 8th grade math teacher at Brooklyn Jesuit Prep. Prior to his assignment, Jake completed a master's degree in social philosophy at Loyola University Chicago while serving as chaplain to the Labor Homeless Ministry and working at Arupe College. Before becoming a Jesuit, Jake graduated from Fordham University 2 times, and he worked at an investment management firm in Manhattan. While he was at Fordham, Jake majored in business administration with a concentration in finance and a minor in political science. He was a global business honors student, and he graduated magna cum laude in 2011. He went on to graduate with a Master of Arts in Economics from the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences in 2015. While he was on campus, I remember it vividly, he was a very active student who held leadership roles in a number of on-campus organizations. He was the president of the Residence Hall Association during his senior year, and he made outstanding contributions to the community and received the Senior Leadership Award. And I think he went to see more Broadway and off-Broadway plays than anyone. Do you remember how many you happened to see over your 4-year period?
Probably 120.
He said 120, yeah. Jake is a true testament to our Jesuit teaching of cura personalis, or caring for the whole person. He teaches us to follow our truest passions, even if that path is outside of business. Would you all please join me in a huge round of applause for our 2022 Alumnus of the Year, Jake Braithwaite, S.J.
Thank you.
Give you an award,
Oh,
and then your call.
okay. Thank you.
All yours. You want me to hold it?
Oh, sure. Thank you. I'm very honored to be here. I want to thank you so much, Dean Rapaccioli and Professor Cosenza and everyone here. I'm humbled and surprised to be here. I'm very grateful to my parents and my sister who are here as well. I'm a Jesuit, so I want to tell you a little bit about prayer today. And as Dean Rapaccioli said, my path to being a Jesuit was winding, and I was sitting in your shoes. I had a job at 48th and Park at Cohen & Steers, a great firm. And I had no designs on being a priest or maybe even being religious at all. And somehow this found me. And the way that St. Ignatius teaches us to pray is to enter scenes in the gospel. And so I was having this itch that maybe there was something different. And I was praying with Simon and Andrew at the seaside. And they were fishermen. And they were mending their nets at their father's business. We can assume they were in their 30s at least at that point. So they had had a lot of training as fishermen. And as I entered the scene, I smelled the salt water and I felt the hot sun on my back. And then this guy walks up and says, "Drop your nets and follow me." And in that moment of prayer, I saw Jesus. I heard him calling me in that way. Drop your nets. Yes, you've done all this work, all this training in fishermen. Well, for me, it was finance. You've had these internships. Again, they had probably trained for many years, but drop it and follow me. And the overriding feeling that I felt toward Jesus in that moment was annoyance. I had done so much already. I had gone through all of these hoops and done all these classes and tried to get all these jobs, and then I was just now going to leave it and do something different. And so that prayer and others like it eventually, though, pulled me and said, yeah, there is something different. You got to do this different thing. And as I returned to it this week, I was praying again at the seaside, and what I realized was that we only know who Simon and Andrew are because of that moment. Because in that moment, they said yes to something different. Everything changed for them in that moment. But were it not for that moment, they would have been lost to history. We would have no idea even who they are. And they thought in that moment that this was what they were going to do for the rest of their lives, was be fishermen. But instead, Jesus had different ideas for them. And so now we know who these men are, and there's names adorn churches and cities, and both in the United States and in Russia. Cities are named after St. Peter. And what I realized was that for me, and I think for you today, class of 22, what has happened so far is the backstory. God has given you things, God has prepared you, and God has invited you to challenge yourselves in different ways that are simply the backstory for what is to come. And in some ways, that's really annoying about Jesus, but it's also one of the gifts that he gives us, is that he is going to use the things that you've done so far in ways that you don't expect. And I have one that is kind of obvious and one that's a little less obvious. When I was at Fordham, the way that I got my money to go out to the bars and to go to all those Broadway shows was I tutored football players in calculus. It was a great job. It was really fun. And it's on my resume that I was an athlete tutor. And so every step of the way as a Jesuit, people look at it and go, oh, you can teach math? Yes, we need you to be a math teacher. And so it's kind of decided where I've gone a lot of times because they need people who can teach math. So that, again, this surprising way that God is using something I did at Fordham that I thought it was gone, God's using it in a new way. Another thing, at the school where I teach now, Brooklyn Jesuit Prep, it's all immigrant kids. They're very poor. And we couldn't figure out how to have a lunch program. But I went to business school. And so the kids eat lunch now every single day. And it's because I knew how to manage the budget and figure out how to get the money and move it in the right places and simply put it on a spreadsheet. And so again, God's using these things that I sort of thought I had left behind in ways that I never expected. One more example from the Bible. Abraham and Sarah tried to have children for many, many years. And they sort of went through this traumatic thing of not being able to bear children. And again, they thought that their lives would be lives that, okay, we kind of were a couple, we were deeply in love, we had something together, but without children. And then, out of nowhere, God says, I'm going to make you the father and mother of more people than you can count. And now, 3 of the world's great religions trace themselves to that single couple, people who thought they would never have a child. And so I think about Simon Peter, and I think about Sarah, and there's one other thing that unites the two of them, besides this being surprised by the way that God called them to something entirely different than what they thought. And that is this: God gave them new names. His name was Simon, and again, up until that moment on the beach, anyone that had ever met him, anyone who would ever know him, knew him as Simon. And again, now there is a city in Florida and there is a city in Russia that are named after him, among others, named after Peter. He was a fisherman who knew how to be on the water, and Jesus named him Rock. Peter means rock, something totally different than he expected. Sarah was named Sarai, a slightly different name, and when she becomes the mother of all people, she gets a new name, Sarah. And I think, I'm very honored to be here today, and I think the reason that I have been honored today also has to do with my new name. I teach 7th and 8th graders, they're all Brooklyn kids, and the way they refer to money is bread. And I've recently found out, you know when you're like a 12-year-old and you get surprised by the fact that your teacher has a first name that is not just Mr. whatever? I have found that behind my back, the kids call me, today's Gebelli School of Business Alumnus of the Year, the kids call me Jake No Bread, because I don't get money anymore. And so I, just like Peter and Sarah, have been very surprised by the way that God has called me and pulled new things out of me. And so I, Jake No Bread, invite you, the class of 2022, to again think about today as backstory. You're going to be called to new names. And for some of you, that name is going to be Madam President. And for some of you, that name is going to be Dad. And for some of you, that name is going to be in some crypto language that hasn't been invented yet. But that true name is the way you are going to be remembered, perhaps for all time. And so I want you to hold on to what happens today as ways that God is planting seeds so that that new name can bear beautiful flowers that will grow into history. I know it because I've seen it happen in me. I've seen it happen in my classmates from Fordham. And so know that I worship the way that God is already at work in you. And I pray for the ways that God will continue to work in utterly surprising ways in you. Thank you so much. Yep. You have them. Okay, great.
Jake is gonna announce the students who are being recognized. One moment. Here we go.
Thank you. I will now announce the students receiving the Gebelli School of Business New Alumni Award. They are models of what students should strive to be, and we look forward to their contributions to the Fordham community as alumni. Israt Ali. Please come forward. Kendall Dandridge. Erin Hardiman. Matthew Hoytel. John Nasrallah. Philip Riggins. Amelia Still. Anthea Visheganov. And Xiao Wang.
Thank you, Dean Rapiccioli. And Jake, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Jake was a student of mine. I know we're not supposed to have favorites as professors, but Jake, my goodness, you were amazing. One of the most memorable students, and Jake and I have kept in touch over the years. Thank you for your inspiring speech to our students today. We will now recognize the many class of 2022 students who were inducted into honor societies for academic achievement. Please welcome our Senior Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Studies, Dr. Marissa Totino Villani.
Congratulations to all our society members for being named to these groups. May I ask that as I call the society, each member please stand to be recognized. First, would all the students in Alpha Mu Alpha please stand? Alpha Mu Alpha is an honorary society of the American Marketing Association. Thank you, please sit, and congratulations. Would all of the students in Alpha Sigma Nu please stand? Alpha Sigma Nu is the National Honor Society of students in Jesuit colleges and universities. Congratulations, please be seated. Would all of the students in Beta Alpha Psi please stand? Beta Alpha Psi is a premier national scholastic and professional fraternity devoted to students in financial information industry. Congratulations, please be seated. Would all of the students in Omicron Delta Epsilon please stand? Omicron Delta Epsilon is an international economic honor society. Congratulations, please be seated. Would all of the students in Beta Gamma Sigma please stand? Beta Gamma Sigma is an honor society for business students and scholars. Congratulations. Please be seated. Would all of the students in Phi Kappa Phi please stand? Phi Kappa Phi is the oldest and largest collegiate honor society dedicated to the recognition and promotion of academic excellence in all disciplines. Congratulations. Please be seated. Next, I would like to recognize students who have provided exceptional service to the Gebelli School of Business in their college careers. The Dean's Council is a group of students who act as Dean Rapiccioli's undergraduate advisors. They are often the students who tell our story at admission open houses, and they are the students who give us perspective on how the curriculum is working for our students. Will the members of the Dean's Council please rise to be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Our transfer advising mentors are upperclassmen who devote time to providing academic and social advice for incoming transfer students. They help with transfer orientation, serve as reference points for new transfer students, and assist with transfer advising. Will anyone who served as a transfer advising mentor please stand so we can give you a round of applause? Thank you. Our freshman advising mentors are upperclassmen who take time out of their busy schedules to provide academic advice for first-year students. They help with orientation, run small group advising sessions, and act as role models. These students are a testament to the strength of the Fordham community. Will anyone who served as a freshman advising mentor please stand so we can give you a round of applause? Next, I would like to recognize the students who served in the United Student Government, Commuting Students Association, Residence Halls Association, and Campus Activities Board. Will anyone who served in these 4 organizations please rise for applause? I now welcome our Assistant Dean of Honors Opportunities and Dual Degree Programs, Brian Dunn, to the stage. He will introduce the Boyle Scholars and Global Business Honors Program students.
The Boyle Society core values are based on the ideals of Father William Emmett Boyle of the Society of Jesus, specifically the Jesuit ideals of being men and women for others and pursuing academic excellence. These seniors have already received their cords, but may I ask the Boyle Society members to please stand to be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. Next, I would like to recognize the seniors who are graduating from the Global Business Honors Program. This 4-year sequence offers academically rigorous coursework, the chance to travel abroad, as well as the experience of writing an individual thesis. Today, we recognize the GBHP class of 2023 for their original business research. Students, when your thesis is called, please step forward to receive your medal. Exotic Alternatives and Their Impact on Portfolios, author John Barback. Do Democratic presidents increase the frequency of climate change risk disclosure? Author Sean Connell. Pyramid schemes or profitable investments, analyzing the returns of multi-level marketing stocks. Author Catherine Delahunt. The impact of a 15% global minimum tax on market capitalization of multinational firms. Author Edric Kam. I'm happy to announce that Edric's thesis was also selected as a runner-up for the E. Gerald Corrigan Award for Thesis Excellence. Comparative analysis of emissions trading schemes with a focus on the interaction between scale and design. Author Colin Murphy. Fashion trends in social media are likes reflective of popularity. Author Quinevin Durant. Blockchain, freeing the path to increased clinical trial participation rates. Author Aditya Singh. The federal response to the 2008 housing crisis, has it been effective? Author Thomas Sullivan. Intangible asset perception. Can metrics used to explain intangible asset possession help predict stock returns? Author Hannah Underwood. Making considerations for confidence. Are confidence metrics adequate determination of CPAC popularity? Author Nicholas Zafrio. Nicholas' thesis was selected as a runner-up for the E. Gerald Corrigan Award for Honors for Thesis Excellence. Congratulations, Nicholas. Congratulations, students, on all your achievements over the past 4 years. It's been a joy working with you. Next, I would like to welcome Associate Professor Luke Kocherski to the stage, who will present certificates for the Honors Thesis program.
All right. Uh-oh. Sorry, here, I'll list that. Okay, thank you. As I call our honors thesis recipients' names, please come to the stage to receive your medal. Israt Z. Ali, The Effects of Loneliness on Collaboration. I'm happy to announce that Israt was selected as a winner of the Patricia Ramsey Honors Thesis Award for Thesis Excellence in the Honors Thesis program. Michael C. Paulus, The Relationship Between Consumers and Fictional Characters in the Purchase Decision-Making Process. Lucille Sophia Richter, The Effects of Tax Awareness, Knowledge, and Perceived Fairness on Tax Compliance. Qidi Zheng, How People Form Judgments of Low-Income Individuals' Spending on Basic versus Higher Order Needs. And I'm happy to announce that Chidi was selected as a recipient of the Patricia Ramsey Honors Thesis Award for Thesis Excellence in the Honors Thesis Program. Great job to all the honors thesis students, both traditional honors thesis and GBHP. It was really great working with you. I would now like to recognize the students graduating from the Ignite Scholars Program. The Ignite Scholars Program selects talented students with demonstrated leadership experience and challenges and supports them to be agents for positive change in their communities, organizations, and the world at large. In their work as change agents, they learn curricularly and co-curricularly through social innovation and applied learning. The Ignite Scholars Program is designed to develop students' creativity, critical thinking ability, and analytical power to identify solutions that business and society urgently need. Our Ignite Scholars this year are Erin M. Hardiman, Foodability, Henry Thomas Hiddle, Eco-Op, Natalie H. Lamb, Broken Glass, To Harm or to Heal. Jack A. Parsons, E-Contractor. Xia Wang, WSY Business Studio, LLC. Colin M. Wechsler, Foodability. Congratulations to each of you. I would now like to turn the program over to Dean Cosenza.
Thank you, Dr. Kocherski. We have come to the part of today's program that many of you have been waiting for, the Student and Faculty Awards. We will begin with the awards for academic excellence, which are given by major and concentration. These academic awards go to the students with the highest GPA in each specific business major and primary concentration. The highest achieving student in our 5-year, 150-credit public accountancy major is Daniel Young. The highest achieving student in our 4-year, 120-credit public accounting major is James Doherty. The highest achieving student with a business administration major and accounting concentration is Nolan Pappas. The highest achieving student in our applied accounting and finance major is Josephine Bellaro. The highest achieving student in our Accounting Information Systems major is Brittany Touchette. The highest achieving student with a concentration in business economics is Ryan Twitchell. The highest achieving student with a concentration in entrepreneurship is Gianna Bartko. The highest achieving student in our finance major receives a medal named to celebrate the memory of beloved finance professor Christopher Blake. There are 2 winners this year, and they are also our co-valedictorians. Congratulations to Andrew Pace Jr. and Brandon Aptalon. The highest achieving student with a major in business administration and concentration in finance is Megan McAlery. The highest achieving student with an information systems major is Alex Barjewski. The highest achieving student with a business administration major and information systems concentration is Evan J. Garvelink. The highest achieving student with a business administration major and concentration in management is Tom Russworm. The highest achieving student with a marketing major is Jillian Dinowitz. The highest achieving student with a business administration major and marketing concentration is Mira Balsam. The highest achieving student with a business administration major and social innovation concentration is Kelly Mahaney. The highest achieving student with a business administration major and a consulting concentration is Julia Petelkoren. Please join me in giving a round of applause for all of our award winners. I would now like to introduce our second co-valedictorian, Andrew Pace Jr. Andrew Pace Jr. comes to us from Long Island and will be starting as an investment analyst at W.P. Carey post-graduation. During his Gebelli school experience, Andrew kept himself extremely busy by ensuring he was always involved in the ever-changing finance landscape. He did this through his involvement in the student-managed investment fund, his membership within Finance Scholars, and the Boyle Society. He even served as a teaching assistant for Professor Gatto's Credit and Special Situation Investing course. Beyond his studies, Andrew exhibited leadership and cura personalis through his work with St. Jude Up Till Dawn and his participation on the men's rugby team. Congratulations, Andrew.
well with an introduction like that. Hopefully this lives up to that. But hey, listen, you're here, you made it, and I think you all deserve another round of applause for making it through 4 years. First, let me take a moment to congratulate my co-valedictorian, Brandon. I know I could speak for him in saying that we are both incredibly honored to be representing the class of 2022. To kick things off, I want to start by thanking a lot of people who were really impactful to me over the last 4 years. First, my parents. You've created an extraordinarily loving and supportive household that really set the foundation for who I've become today, and for that, there are really no words to explain how thankful I am. Next, I definitely promised a lot of people I'd give them shout outs, so if you're here you're listening, you know who you are. You heard them before. These people are a lot of my friends, whether it's my roommates, buddies on the rugby team, friends who've been around since day one, and maybe friends who I've made just this year. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of great people in my corner, supporting me all the way. Now, to get into the bulk of things, today I want to talk about two aspects that are, in my mind, the mark of a Fordham student. One, Fordham students are expert relationship builders. If you are sitting in this room today, and there are a lot of you, then you've mastered the ability to not only do well in school, but also the ability to build relationships. And while they sometimes may originate in the classroom, relationships are oftentimes nurtured outside of the classroom. They're built by going out, having fun, sharing experiences. And if you haven't realized it yet, the business world to me, in my mind, and I think in a lot of people's minds, is a world that is built on relationships. This is your network that you're sitting with. So when you remember Fordham, remember the relationships you made, the fun you had, the countless dinners on Arthur Avenue, and maybe even the 3 a.m. Magis nights. Because all those times you might not have realized it, but you were practicing the skill of making relationships, which is paramount to success in the business world. Now, the second mark of a Fordham student, grit. I want to draw on a quote by Professor Michael Gatto, who is a principal of Silver Point Capital and a driving force behind the creation of Fordham's new O'Shea Center for Credit Analysis and Investment. As someone who has interviewed and worked with top talent in the business world, he has told his class multiple times, not only are Fordham students just as smart as any other graduate from any other school, but what we also have, which you cannot replicate, is grit. When Fordham students go into the workforce, there's no sense of entitlement. There's a sense of put me in the game, coach. Give me a shot. Let me show you what I could do. And no one could take that mentality away from you. So I'll leave you with this. Whatever it is you want to do, go out there, roll up your sleeves, work hard, and get a little gritty. And with that attitude, everything will fall into place. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Please join me in welcoming Hannah Fawzi, Assistant Dean of Global Initiatives and Partnerships.
I will now give out an award that recognizes students who have achieved highly in international business. Globalization is one of the 4 main pillars of a Gebelli School of Business Education. The International Business Award is given to seniors who represent the ideals of global business education and who participated actively in the International Business Association, a student organization. The award goes to Cameron Piscino. I would now like to turn the program to Melissa Yeagley, Assistant Dean for the Gebelli School.
For each of these awards, we ask the student recipient come up to the stage to receive your medal or certificate. Our next award is the Benedict T. Harder Award, presented to the student athlete with the highest scholastic grade point average from the Gebelli School of Business. The award honors Dean Ben Harder, who served from 1979 to 1983. Congratulations to Natalie Ortuff. The New York State Society of CPAs Superior Scholarship Award is for a senior who has done outstanding work in accounting. The award this year goes to James Doherty. The Beta Gamma Sigma Bronze Medal is an award to recognize outstanding scholastic achievement in the field of business. It goes to Lucille Richter. The Angela Lopez Higher Education Opportunity Program Award recognizes the highest cumulative GPA attained by a Gebelli School student in the HEOP program. It is named for Angela Lopez, a HEOP student of great personal warmth and academic dedication. Congratulations to Ahmed Gohar Hussein. Next, we will recognize a student who received our CSEP Award. The CSEP Award is given to a student who exemplifies the mission of the CSEP program: scholarship, professional development, and commitment to succeed. Congratulations to Geraldo De La Cruz. Next, we will briefly recognize Colin Wechsler, who received the Senior Leadership Award from our United Student Government and the Office of Student Involvement. This award was given at a separate ceremony this week, and Colin will simply stand to be recognized. Congratulations, Colin. Next, we will recognize students receiving the Social Impact Award. This award is given to students whose work and personal values support the idea that business can be conducted in a way that creates benefits for society. This year's winners are Mason Lambrix and Natalie Lamb. The Economic Impact Award recognizes students whose curricular and co-curricular pursuits have a positive impact on the local and global economy. This year's winner is John Reagan. The Entrepreneurship Award honors students who possess the entrepreneurial traits of open-mindedness, creativity, innovation, and resilience. The student recognized this year is an entrepreneur who has been successful in creating several profitable small businesses that also make an impact in their communities. Our winner is Russell Alexiv. The Nicholas Brandemarty Award is for Fordham athletes concentrating in finance who successfully balanced academics and athletics. It is named in memory of Nicholas Brandemarty, class of 2001. Congratulations to Peter Fitzgerald. The Evening Student Award is presented to exceptional students in the Gebelli School's evening program. This year's award goes to John Yaksevich. This next award, the Patricia David Trailblazer Award, honors a member of our class of 1981, Patricia David, a champion of diversity in the workplace. This year's Trailblazer has served as a mentor and role model for their peers, paved the way for classmates to secure coveted career opportunities, and motivated those around them to achieve excellence. This year's winner is Eva Lee. I would like to welcome Dr. Marissa Tatina Villani back to the podium to present the remaining awards.
I would first like to recognize the finance scholars and marketing scholars. Will these groups please stand? These scholars have completed rigorous rounds of training and education with our personal and professional development team and are ready to take on their respective industries by storm. Congratulations. Next, we have 4 awards, each of which is named for one of the 4 Jesuit ideals that define the Gebelli School of Business. The Cora Personalis Award is given to students who exemplify the Jesuit value of care for the whole person, showing a commitment to the holistic development of their peers and others. The winners of this award are Samantha Wu, Ting Lan Shirley Du, and Jackson Mark Antonio. The Hominis Pro Alis Award honors students who are truly men and women for others. They are Gabriela Amatoro, James Doherty, Zoe Lopez, Sarah Milovich, and Corey Vita. The Magis Award honors students whose excellence propelled them at the Gebelli School and helped the school propel forward, both academically and as a community, reflecting specifically on the Jesuit principle of doing more. Congratulations to Alessandra Ciuffo, Catherine Delahunt, and Melissa Jokaj. The Rachel Ragone Unity of Heart, Mind, and Soul Award is presented to a student who, in the Jesuit tradition, exemplifies a personal character of deep compassion, steady perseverance, and spiritual fortitude. The award is in memory of Rachel Ragone, member of the class of 2018. Congratulations, Luke O'Flaherty. I now invite Dean Rapiccioli back to present the Faculty and Administration Awards, followed by our senior capstones.
The first of the Faculty and Administrator prizes is the Gebelli School of Business Appreciation Award. It's presented to an administrator or a faculty member from another part of the university who goes the extra mile for our business school. This year, we honor Keith Eldridge, AVP and Dean of Student Services. Keith, why don't you come on up? Keith has served the Fordham community for more than 25 years. He has worked on both the Lincoln Center and Rose Hill campuses, and he is a tireless advocate for the Fordham student community. Dean Eldridge supported the launch of the Gebelli School at Lincoln Center in his role as Dean of Students at the time. He's been an invaluable partner to the Gebelli School, answering all matters and all inquiries at all times of day or night. He guided our community through the ever-changing COVID protocols and regulations. Keith has a long history with Jesuit education, earning both his bachelor's and master's degrees from Jesuit institutions. His commitment to Fordham students is unparalleled, and we look forward to many more years of partnership with Keith. We cannot thank you enough for all your support. Congratulations, Keith Eldridge. I will now award the Reverend Garrett J. Fitzgerald Award, and this is for the business faculty or administrator or staff member who has made a significant contribution to the Gebelli School. This year's award goes to Megan Decker. Megan has been helping us with the awards here. She is the Assistant Dean for Sophomores at the Gebelli School. She's an extraordinary member of the Dean's Office team and takes a truly student-centered approach. She supports students by advising them, helping them do career discernment, and helps them get engaged in the community. Her work has helped individual students succeed, and she has also helped our current systems improve. Megan is a champion for the underrepresented and first-generation college students, which has contributed to her work and success in creating advising strategies that support academic persistence and support opportunities for all the Gebelli School students. She's also a leader among the Gebelli School's Dean's Office, and it was very hard to keep this a secret from her because she was the one planning all this, but I think we pulled it off. Congratulations, Megan, and thank you. Next, I will give the two faculty awards that relate to Fordham's Jesuit tradition. The first award is the Faculty Cura Personalis Award. As you heard a little earlier, the word cura personalis stands for care for the whole person, and it's probably one of the most well-known phrases in Jesuit education. Today, we congratulate and honor Professor Benjamin Cole. Ben, come on up. Professor Cole holds the William J. Loschert Endowed Chair of Entrepreneurship. He currently serves as the area chair for the Strategy and Statistics area. His professional accomplishments include he's a tenured professor of strategy and statistics. He's an organizer of the Blockchain Disruptor Conference. He received the DEI Achievement and Belonging Award. He received the Faculty and Teaching Award in 2021 and the Faculty Impact Award in 2022. Dr. Cole uses global research settings to investigate how social factors such as legitimacy, status, logics, and media framing influence technological innovation. He also holds a big interest and great knowledge in the disruptive nature of blockchain on existing industries. Professor Cole teaches courses on blockchain and strategy. One of his students fondly said of Dr. Cole, he is a pioneer in the evolution of crypto education. His focus on teaching students to see the world differently and understand that technology allows us to continue to evolve and is truly inspiring. His commitment to Fordham students is remarkable. Dr. Cole's teaching methodology promotes lifelong learning. Thank you, Ben, and congratulations. The second of these awards is the Faculty Magis Award, which, as you heard earlier, literally translates into the word more, which means striving for excellence in all that we do and for the greater glory of God. This year, that value is embodied by Professor Kevin Mirable. Professor Mirable teaches finance here at the Gebelli School of Business, a whole array of courses, including principles of finance, alternative investments, and hedge funds. Professor Mirable has more than 30 years of practical experience in the business development, regulatory, finance, accounting, trading, and sales. He spent an entire career in financial services before joining us. He is a CPA. He belongs to the Greenwich Roundtable's Founders Council and is a contributed to that organization's Best Practices series. Kevin is fondly known by his students as someone who is readily available to discuss, answer questions, and serve as a resource for all his students. Congratulations, Kevin, and thank you for all you do. Next, I would like to present the Dean's Award for Teaching Excellence. These awards are based on the senior class's nominations. We sent you a survey, and you chose who we should recognize. First, I want to congratulate the winner of the award for full-time faculty, Professor Santiago Meja. Santiago joined the Gebelli School of Business in 2017 as an assistant professor in the law and ethics area. He has a strong background in both philosophy and ethics. His research interests spanned normative ethical theories of business, organizational behavior, moral psychology. He also focuses on shareholder primacy, Socratic ignorance, and empirically informed approaches to virtue ethics. Santiago won the Fordham's Distinguished Research Award for junior faculty in 2021 and was presented this year with the Harold and Sidel Gatch Endowed Award for Research Excellence. Students know Professor Meja's courses to be some of the most rewarding and yet challenging. One of his students said, "This was the hardest yet most fulfilling course I ever took." He pushes his students to be better people. Thank you and congratulations, Professor Santiago Meja. Now I'd like to recognize the winner for part-time faculty, Professor Jim Teague. Jim, come on up. Jim is an adjunct professor in our leading people and organization area and a double RAM. He has a PhD and a Master of Science in Leadership and Administration. When Jim is not serving our students in the classroom, he's serving the church and our communities as an active member of the clergy and a frequent volunteer at POTS, the community center and food pantry, which is right here on Webster Avenue. Jim has affectionately been called one of the best of Fordham by many of his students and colleagues. He is known for caring about the academic success, but also enjoys staying in touch with alumni and watching them flourish in the real world. Jim is always available as a touch point to his Fordham students and truly enjoys giving advice or just having a chat. Congratulations and thank you, Jim. Now we will move to our Student Capstone Awards, given to a few of our most dedicated and high-achieving seniors. First, to present the Alumni Chair Award, I now invite Matthew Burns, Associate Director of Alumni Relations, to come forward.
Good afternoon. The Alumni Chair Award is presented to a senior who inspires their peers, who achieves excellence in intellectual and extracurricular endeavors, and who makes contributions that will outlast one's time at Fordham. Above all, the award is presented to an individual who embodies the Jesuit tenets of cura personalis and magis, as well as the commitment to serve as a ram with and for others. But it does not stop at commencement. The award, this chair, is a symbol of leadership. And we really challenge the recipient to do more, to take up a leadership position in one of our alumni chapters, our Young Alumni Committee, regional chapters around the world, or one of our affinity groups. More importantly, to serve as a mentor to the students who will come after them. And I think most important of all, to serve as a servant leader among peers and a model of the unwavering devotion and service to Alma Mater Fordham. Now, in consultation with the deans, and on behalf of the Fordham University Alumni Association and Fordham's community of more than 200,000 living alumni, I commend and congratulate this year's recipient of the Gebelli Rose Hill Alumni Chair Award, Julia Elizabeth Patalkarin. Julia, if you don't mind, please take a seat. A bit about Julia. Julia. A bit about Julia while we have her here. Julia majored in business administration with concentrations in consulting and social innovation and will be graduating summa cum laude. During her time here, she has held many roles on campus to support student growth. In her first year, she joined the campus activity board as a general member and has been promoted several times to her current role as vice president. Through this position, she has created inclusive programming on campus to foster student development. In addition to her involvement in this area of student life, she is a tour guide through the Fordham University Rose Hill Society. Julia has led many campus tours to prospective students and their families and supported many admission events. Julia served as a smart woman's security associate, cultivating relationships with other like-minded women who were passionate about the area of finance. And now, if you didn't think Julia was busy enough, she also found time to serve as a Gebelli freshman advising mentor through the FAM program. She worked closely with students in the Men Race Scholars Program, where she was a member her freshman year. In addition to her many campus involvements, she has tutored many students and held many prestigious internships. Julia fully embodies the core tenets of being a student leader and has impacted many students in her time at Fordham. Once again, congratulations, Julia.
Thank you, Matthew. The next award is the Mazzillo Future Distinguished Alumnus Award, which goes to a student who has demonstrated excellence in all areas of their undergraduate experience, personifying Fordham's mission by making excellence the focus of their life. This year's recipient is Geraldo De La Cruz. As many of you know, Geraldo is a marketing major and a film and television minor here at the Gebelli School. He also served as a resident assistant, go for it, where he led programming that reflected Fordham's pillars for a Jesuit residential experience. He also serves as secretary of ASILI, where as a member of ASILI's leadership team, he has facilitated important campus cultural conversations, and he enriched campus life for all students, faculty, and staff. With the same spirit, he arrived on campus and created a community for himself and others. He also focused on enriching the student-scholar experience by being an active member of the Gebelli School Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Student Board and a University Innovation Fellow. He's someone who deeply cares about his community and organized various events, including a drive to benefit the victims of the recent Bronx fires. He is known among his peers as a passionate change maker and someone who innovates through the creation of entrepreneurial spaces. Congratulations, Geraldo. Finally, our last award, I'm thrilled to present the Gebelli School of Business Dean's Award. It recognizes one student's remarkable commitment to the Fordham community. This year's award goes to Colin Wechsler. Colin is a finance major with a FinTech secondary concentration, and he will graduate summa cum laude. He served as an academic leader through his Ignite Scholar participation, and he also served as a peer leader as a freshman advising mentor. He was also an RA, as well as serving in numerous leadership roles on campus. Colin, you must have seen, was recognized by Poets and Quants as one of the best and brightest undergraduate business students in 2022. Yes. His achievements aren't only about his own recognition. Colin is truly someone who strives to enrich the lives of all through his brand of caring and compassionate leadership. For instance, throughout his tenure, Colin has made it a priority to actively and regularly connect the Gebelli School students to our Bronx community through partnerships that he's developed with local businesses. He's also prioritized cura personalis through many of the philanthropic efforts that he has supported with our students. In every single act, whether small or large, his motivations are founded in his belief that we are each responsible for making our community a better place. His impact will live on here at Fordham and throughout our community because of the strong example he has set. Thank you, Colin. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Rapiccioli. Once again, congratulations to all of you who received an award or were recognized today, and congratulations to the class of 2022. This concludes our award ceremony. You are now invited to attend our Baccalaureate Mass. The Rose Hill Baccalaureate Mass will be celebrated at 6 p.m. in the Rose Hill Gymnasium. Thank you again, congratulations, and we look forward to officially naming you Fordham alumni tomorrow. Go Rams!